So, good morning everyone. Today we are going to start Java. This is our first class on Java. So, what is Java? Java, as you may know, is a programming language. Then, history of Java. Java was developed by James Gosling at Sun Microsystem in the year 1991. At that time, Vinod Khosla, an IIT Delhi alumni, was the co-founder of Sun Microsystem. On 27 January 2010, Sun was acquired by Oracle Corporation, and hence now Java is a product of Oracle Corporation rather than Sun Microsystems. Why Java? Because Java is everywhere. From mobile applications to client and server side applications to embedded systems to cloud and many more. Java is everywhere. The basic features of Java is similar to that of C and C++, but there are some differences too. We will learn about them as we progress in this course. What are the similarities? The similarities are the loops, the if-else commands. These are all the similar things between Java and C and C++. But there are some differences. The first major difference is Java is based on the principle that we write once and we run anywhere. So a code written on one machine can run on any machine, irrespective of the operating system. What are the principles of Java? It is simple. Definitely it is simple. So we are using it for making our apps. And nowadays most of the apps, almost 80% of the apps are made by Java. It is object-oriented programming language, in short OOP. What is this object-oriented programming language? This we will come to know later on. It is distributed. It is used mostly in networking. Like say if we have LAN connections and we need some programs that are running in one machine to run also in some other machine, then Java is the program that runs in the backend. It can easily be interpreted. It is robust. That is, it is not very sensitive to errors. For example, if I do some error like division by 0, if I divide some number by 0, you might know that this is not possible in mathematics. But in programs like C and C++, this will be an error. In Java, we can catch this error and we can stop this error. It is secure, it is portable, as I already said that we can write the code in one pro machine and we can run the code in any machine. So it is portable. We can just shift the code from one machine to other. It is multi-threaded. What does this multi-threaded means? We will learn about this multi-threading also. But for now, multi-threaded means that more than one part of the code can run parallelly. This is not possible in C or C++, which are sequential languages, where the code will run one after the other. Here, this multi-threading allows us to run more than one code, more than one part of the code rather parallelly. It has a garbage collector, so the variables and the memory locations that are no longer used in our code are automatically freed after a certain period of time. So how does this Java works? So basically it has two parts. One is compiling a Java program and the other is running a Java program. Actually, we don't compile a Java program, we interpret a Java program. There is a basic difference between compiling and interpreting. In case of interpreting, the program is checked line by line. In case of compiling, the program is checked all at once. So, while compiling a Java program, what we do is, suppose we have a Java file, hello.java, you can see my cursor. So the Java compiler, what it will do, it will convert this hello.java to hello.class file. This file is not understandable by the OS. So now to run this program, we need a JVM, that is Java Virtual Machine. This JVM, what does it do? it changes this hello.class file to a form that is understandable by the OS. So JVM acts as a medium by which we can convert this dot class file to a form that can be understandable by the OS. Now coming to JDK, these are some of the components of Java: JDK, JVM, and GRE. We will learn about them one by one. JDK. JDK stands for Java Developer Kit. What does it contains? It contains tools needed to develop Java programs. So what are these tools? These tools are with nothing but compiler and application launcher. The compiler is javac.exe and the application launcher is java.exe. Then the GRE. GRE stands for Java Runtime Environment. It contains JVM and Java package classes. And finally, the JVM. JVM stands for Java Virtual Machine. It is platform independent. Well, it must be platform independent because it is converting a bytecode to different OS. Now, since it is converting bytecode to different OS, it cannot depend on a particular platform, that is on a particular OS. So it is platform independent. JVM provides an platform independent way of executing the code. We have already seen it. JVM interprets the bytecode into machine code by taking into consideration underlying operating system and hardware. Based on the operating system, whether it is Windows or Linux, based on the operating system, it will convert the bytecode into machine code. By bytecode, we mean the code that is written in dot class file. And by the machine code, we mean the code that is understandable by the OS. So what is the relation between JDK, GRE and JVM? So JDK contains GRE and some development tools like JavaC, JHeap, JConsole, etc. GRE contains some Java class library similar to the libraries that we have seen in C, C++. If you are aware of those, if you are not, don't worry, we will go through them. So GRE contains JVM and Java class library. And then finally we have JVM. So this is it for the day. If you have any doubts, you can ask. Thank you.